work well versus a hero like Wraith King, where it's reincarnate, you know? You just drop the Wukongs when he does reincarnate. They could actually just like immediately shut him down, make that reincarnate kind of just look like a setup for themselves in a lot of ways. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of these going for the backlines though in particular, right? Going for that Oracle, trying to find it. And Gambit overall, they should have the better ways to always get into the back and just see that information of the fight because they have Beastmaster in general. And Monkey King too for scouting.
You have a lot of vision. We did see Mira play a very nice Mirana the other day though, so perhaps that will end in their favor, but they immediately spot out the ward and will be able to dodge this as well, coming out from the side of MONACO GAMBIT.
Walk me through this. You have your staff, but you
Yeah, Spirit was actually so impressive the other day when I think it was me and you, right? Yeah, we were casting him. That was just like, wow, they were just like Tokyo was all over the place. He was just bloodthirsty. He wanted just kill after kill after kill, and he never let up. The whole team, him Collapse too. Like they were just always looking for the next big place. I was so impressed with the way they just shut down Navi. So I'm looking forward to see if they can do that versus Gambit, as I feel like this game, it's going to be quite a lot more difficult.
I was definitely excited when I heard that this was the second match today, so very much looking forward to see if, you know, Team Spirit can continue this very nice execution. But Mira taking a little... Mira, okay, brain working. But Mira takes a couple hits here from the towers. It's maybe just a little bit too close, but the runes are snapped up and it's an even split.
Let's see how these lanes end up. I want to see how Collapse actually does, because I've seen these Miranas with the tides, you know, you use that gush. Sometimes I've seen a Blightstone starting in the Mirana, so you can actually work around that minus armor really well versus a lot of heroes. Monkey King, not a hero that you probably can do that versus, since he's just gotten so buffed. He's actually 6 base armor, 9 under tower. It's going to be a lot harder for them to actually poke and prod him.
I'll actually be a lot more interested to see if the Mirana will try to make rotations early over onto this Beastmaster, because again, this hero seems extremely strong with the way that, you know, the axes work now, and anything they can do to kind of slow him down I think will be very beneficial.
I think I'd like that as well too. I think there's definitely some opportunities for Mira, because Storm, he actually can put some pressure onto Beastmaster. In the last series though, we did see that Beastmaster come out quite a bit ahead over the Storm, but overall you can just push the lane in and you're always going to be giving that harassment. It's going to be up to room control who can actually do all that, but yeah, an early pull level, maybe a Mirana gets an arrow off of it. Could definitely see some potential rotations. I think top's gonna be hard. Like Mira, I think he probably has to even just go start like pulling the creep waves and stuff like that, if he doesn't want to do these rotations to mid. Collapse, you can't do anything versus Monkey King and Oracle as tied.
I think this top lane is just going to be a lot of Collapses hitting creeps and just trying to sustain himself within the lane, not get bullied out, get that 6 on line to become just a threat on the map, right? So that they can't take towers as easily. It'd be interesting that they have a lot of the, and usually, you know, the whole idea is keep it simple, stupid, right? You want to make sure that you've got a very easy to execute draft, but you do have these really fun, intricate pieces that you can do with the Team Spirit draft, right? Because you have a Storm Spirit who's going to be able to ball lightning in, you follow, or you place that Ink Swell on him ahead of time, it can land an arrow, like you've got all these kind of neat little ways of locking down a hero, but is it too complicated?
Yeah, it might be. I just love that they've got these answers for Wraith King in particular, which is why I'm not too crazy about this last pick. Maybe Yatoro can pull out something magical, but like Sand these heroes that can actually clear the skeletons, in particular in lane too, they're just good. You're getting extra gold, you're not getting pressured from that at all, and sometimes the skeletons are the thing that actually cause these lanes to be more difficult than usual.
You get a little bit of a side pull here coming out from the Dark Willow, but immediately they will just challenge it right away. And a Burrow Strike, though, is going to have to be a bit careful. Yatoro, he's just very aggressive here because he knows that he's got this double stun. So even though, you know, it was looking a little suspect, a little right off the bat with those brambles, it was absolutely fine. And he's really, you know, manned up, so to speak.
And he's thankfully got that salve too from Miposhka's back. Doesn't have to be careful of his positioning right now in this lane.
Mira instead going to have to back off here. I think they must have landed an arrow earlier.
Yeah, they're actually slowing down Dream's farm a tiny little bit, and now that he's boundless, they're actually turning onto him.
Ooh, this does not look great here for Dream. The arrow does not connect, but the leap forwards, they've got the vision. They need just maybe 1 or 2 more hits to try to take down Dream, and he's just too fast. He does have the boots, so he's gonna be, oh, but the gush. Down he goes.
That's oh, and Mira's just getting a free courier. All right, cool. Did not look at that one, SoNNeikO, but That's huge. Your Tidehunter Mirana lane have now killed the lane that they picked to counter that Tidehunter with this Monkey King Oracle. That's actually massive that they can start it off like that. All 3 leaps committed. Mira does have 1 more now that just refreshed. Gonna have to use it probably. No, he actually doesn't have to.
No, he's feeling confident right now. He realizes that SoNNeikO doesn't have much mana left over here, and Dream probably just wants to hit creeps.
Yeah, that's big and quite unexpected. You'd actually feel like it would go the other way, where the Sand King and the Willow would maybe get a kill onto the Wraith King or something like that. Not the other way around, where the Tidehunter's able to kill that counter matchup. That's a very good start for Team Spirit, as we're also seeing mid. Tokyo not falling behind at all, just getting himself a nice little raindrop, gets his bottle charges going, having a great matchup right now versus no one. And he's just maxing Static Remnant. No extra points in Overload. He's just pushing the lane out and just getting ready to go to jungle and hit those creeps.
It definitely seems like he's got a plan for what he wants to do this game, and that is, of course, very, very important. But yeah, the bottom lane too, like you said, you've got a lot of disable coming out from the Sand King and the Dark Willow, but then you have to remember that you've got just the equal amounts to throw right back at them when you've got that Wraithfire Blast, and of course you've got the Ink Swell. So it feels like this lane is kind of coming to a bit of a draw. Miposhka. Just standing in the middle of all the brambles. He's not afraid here. They have the vision. This is looking like a dead afterlife, and indeed, they find that kill. Miposhka sitting very low, 80-something hit points, but Yatoro is trying to just push away Immersion a little bit. In the top lane, they're jumping after Dream. That was a very good Fortune's End holding them in place. Without that, I think Dream was in a lot of trouble. Mira.
Yeah, the Sand King's now starting to struggle as Mira. Okay, not gonna quite be able to commit for this courier here. But yeah, Sand King, you're only 3 armor. So when you do commit into these type of moves onto this Grimstroke, onto this Wraith King, you get hit hard. Wraith King, you're sitting at 7 armor now. You're healthy with phase boots, so the harassment that comes in is a little bit weaker, but now you're isolated. Should be fine though.
I'm gonna put out a decent amount of harass there against Yatoro, but he's just gonna heal right back up again. And here it is. Here's our first rotation. No one. The drag back directly into the arrow, and they knew this was coming. Oh, the leap forward from Mira, maybe a bit of a mistake, but does have another leap charge. Roar turn back around, and the rest of the team there here. This is going to be a kill. Very nicely done coming out from the side of AS MONACO GAMBIT.
And this time, yeah, they're just ready. They even have now the rune spawning right afterwards, so no one's able to fill up. And grid rotations, I'm glad that they bring the both, just in case. Just a little bit extra control for that storm.
How's it feel?
Enabling Beastmaster, never what you want to see if you are a Team Spirit fan, because you know those axes, they're gonna come online that much faster now.
I think everyone is. Yeah, look at this. They anticipated. They saw that TORONTOTOKYO had the 6, and they knew that he'd be trying to make a play as soon as the Mirana went missing. Very good response. Man, I love that Dark Willow set. I have not been lucky enough to get that set.
Not me either. I don't have any.
Oh no!
I like his courier too. Courier is so cool. I actually am so jealous. I have such bad cosmetics in couriers lately. I've been noticing everybody else's how dope they are. So sad.
I'm sure.
Like the ice frog from earlier, right?
Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, I hadn't seen that one. It is actually so adorable. Ooh, the arrow. Nope. SoNNeikO just walks away from it. I just like the willow hat because it's got a cat hat. Be real honest.
Yeah.
Adorable.
That's really true. Bottom lane is, they're doing an excellent job. Miposhka's now gotten 2 or 3 stacked pulls off, denying the waves entirely. Yatoro's already up to level 6. This Sand King and this Willow did not have the lane that they wanted to by any means. Not able to actually pressure at all. And now AfterLife is quite far behind. Tidehunter is significantly far ahead, 500 to 600 gold on top. And he is slowing down the Monkey King, while the Wraith King is not getting slowed down.
Definitely looks like a bit of an issue here. The arrow sidestepping, but they have the Starfall. They'll use the Ravage. They want this kill on Dream, and by God, they'll slay a Monkey King. Bottom lane, the turn back around here again. The stun will come through, and they do have the vision, but not quite enough damage to take down AfterLife. He's just not finding any luck over here on this bottom lane. These axes, oof. Yeah, he's got to run here.
look at, like, they're able to now hit the top tower though. The Tide Mirana lane, which it felt like they were gonna have some trouble versus the the Monkey King, who kind of just counters the Tide in most instances. It's not the case. This is huge because this is gonna snowball. This is gonna cause a snowball reaction where this Tide Hunter is way bigger than he should be, and Monkey King is just a lot more shut down than possible. But Dream might just get a return kill here at the least.
I mean, that is
big Tide Hunter.
Yeah.
Get some good money.
That is the nice thing about playing a Monkey King against the Tide, right? Is that he does get very tanky, but you know, you like getting those stacks of Jingu up. Like, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's not great, you know, when you start to fall behind, but there is still a solution, and you are the solution basically, in that sense. So, not the end of the world here, but definitely feels
AfterLife,
good for. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, he's so far behind. I'm not seeing him really having any stacks either, so he can't even Sandstorm catch up. He's gonna maybe have to just catch up through fights, which does not feel good when you've got 3 points Sandstorm or 2 in stun.
Look at this positioning. They use the Moonlight Shadow. Collapse jumping forward here. They're trying to body block over to No One. The arrow connects. The Starbolt comes through the silence. Down goes No One. Curse Crown will proc over on Mirana. But Yatoro in the bottom lane, continuing just to farm up, currently top of the net worth. Very close behind No One.
That's great. Yeah, really good for Team Spirit. Like, Tide Hunter even is able to get involved with this team without having ulti. AfterLife, it's going to be catch-up mode for this Sanking for quite some time. So that means they're probably going to have to show up with a lack of numbers, in particular, for quite some time. Because Monkey King, he doesn't want to really get involved in fights either. So they're going to be limited a bit with how much action they can actually do. Respond versus Spirit, who they're going to bring the force. Spirit's going to bring 4 heroes. The Red King's just going to sit jungling in the meantime, but the other 4, they can constantly battle because of this great head start that Collapse has.
Definitely feels good when you can participate and you don't have to necessarily use the ultimate here to make an impact. SoNNeikO teleporting top, though. They just, you know, trying to make him uncomfortable. They don't want him to have a nice relaxing time here in the top lane. They haven't forgotten he's here. They haven't forgotten there's a tower.
So scary for Dream now every time. Ravage is up, Mira's level 6, so high points in Starfall. There's a lot of chances here that Dream does die if SoNNeikO's not in position and at the ready, but they know this. They know SoNNeikO's there. They saw the TP coming in with that arrow.
And they have a nice ward off to the side, spotting out Mira, trying to get in position, so they're doing the best they can to kind of keep Dream safe. And in fact, you're seeing a rotation coming up now from No One and Immersion, because they have had quite enough of this. Axis will get tossed out. He is extremely alone. This is not looking super great because there are 4 heroes here and they're going to try to probably body block. They throw down everything. The arrow comes through, but it doesn't quite connect. And Collapse, look at him. He's so tanky, that heal. Nope. Eventually he'll go down to the wild Axis.
Halfway to the Aghanims. No One well and truly enabled. Yatoro, though, as we said, still having an excellent time. In AfterLife, he's still on catch-up mode. His blink is going to be very late on the Sanking. However, it will come eventually, which will always be there to catch the Storm Spirit, and then they'll have a lot of chain stun to follow up. So the game still for TORONTOTOKYO will be difficult eventually once the blink inevitably comes out on Sanking, but a great start for Team Spirit still.
They have the Ravage back up, and they have... Oh, these are some nice, juicy stacks. Thank you, Grimstroke. This is going to be a happy Tide. As if he wasn't happy enough already.
Does give a lot of space now. He's going to take a lot of time to finish these off. Let's see what ASM.GMB decides to do in the meantime. They do have this Beastmaster, so they can't push buildings. He's also now got Max Hawk and Max Boar.
Looks like they're probably just going to end up trading towers here.
Looks like it, yeah.
Top tower should go down just a little bit faster. It had plenty of harass placed on it, and Yatoro has made his migration to that top part of the dire jungle now.
And he'll have Radiance very soon. The Relic is going to be online any minute now. But how much is that going to impact? Because we do have to just remember, it's going to be a really weird game where he's not just going to be standing toe-to-toe fighting anybody a lot of the time. The Radiance burn, not going to be as effective as usual. Sure, decent first Monkey King, but the way that the rest of the lineup is going to be playing, it's from distance. Your Oracle, your Willow, the way that Beastmasters, of course, played with the axes, he's just going to be poking him from a distance. So it's going to be tough for Yatoro to actually get into the fights. But Tokyo, he's got a nice timing on his Orchid. 12 minutes. See what he can make happen of it, if he can find these oracles in particular in the back.
It's hunting time, and you can see Miposhka placing down these wards. They realize that they had just been bottom, so they want to sweep, make sure that they're not in their jungle any longer. But if there's a straggler or two, I'm sure they would enjoy a nice little pick-off. They've already vacated this bottom area of the jungle, so looks like this little gank squad not going to be able to find the murder they're hoping for.
Nope, and time has been bought. Let the game begin. Axes are online. The Axe Master has now turned into his final form right after he finishes up these Ancients.
I just imagine him turning into Axe once he gets that.
It really, he's not Beastmaster. I was actually joking around with Daniela, with my girlfriend, just saying like, yeah, he's no longer Beastmaster. He used to control beasts. Now he just controls axes.
Yep. Well, you know, it's a hard economy after a COVID hit. You know, he just couldn't do the things he used to do. Dream, bottom lane, though. Looks like he's going to get spotted out. The Inkswell will connect, jump forward, the silence. That's a dead monkey. Collapse stealing the rune. So the rest of the team is here. That arrow, though, just a little bit off the mark. Oh, that's a feels bad, man. I guess he expected there were just going to be more there.
Look at poor Yatoro. He's just dying to axes. 5 stacks.
Oh!
7, and that's 1.
Yep.
Good old fairy trinket on top to boot. A little bit more spell damage, of course. Why not? He might actually not replace that. That might be the best item for Beastmaster in the game.
Dire's bottom tower.
You don't need cooldown reduction. I mean, that and Timeless Relic will be like the most ideal for him for just damage.
Yeah, AfterLife start channeling up. I guess he expected more people to be there.
He's got no reincarnate.
So, yeah, he doesn't. He's dead. Very nice pick off here. Perhaps they can get something else, but they do have the Ravage, and they'll go use the Soul Bind, so they'll might be able to get the kill over onto Sand King. Down goes Immersion. Eventually, but they'll find a kill on Miposhka as well. And Dark Willow going down earlier. That was an interesting fight. Was that the smoke too? I was watching the replay during that.
They just walked in. Yeah, they just like walked in. Ty just literally got perfect opportunity for 3-man Ravage.
Oh, I meant on the side of Gambit. If they had smoked off.
Looking at the Wraith King farming.
Okay, excellent. This is why they pay us the big bucks, guys.
Yeah, I get too focused sometimes.
Okay, here we go. No, yeah, they just waltzed on in.
Up, right?
Yeah, they knew that the reincarnation was down, and they took it.
Still 5k advantage right now for Spirit somehow. That Tidehunter difference between the same.
Oh, they were smoked. They were smoked.
Okay.
I'm not crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but not crazy in that way. Oh dear. All right. Tower's getting chonked down here by MONACO GAMBIT.
I'm just watching Beastmaster. Hey, there's an Arcane Rune bottom. Go get it.
Oh, great. Great. Just his lucky day. Well, they want to fight, though. Throw strike going in. Nice arrow coming out as well. Be able to hold the storm in place, and there it is. There's a big hit as Immersion takes down TORONTOTOKYO. Collapse is running for his life now. They'll go to use the Moonlight Shadow. They do have the dust. Be careful. They drop a sentry down to boot. The rest of the side of Team Spirit backing off. And it looks like AfterLife? AfterLife, he's going back in. He wants this kill, and he'll get the kill on Mira.
Tokyo actually went for Boots of Travel now this game too. That's a really greedy pickup this game.
Yeah.
I mean, he can go for these pickups around the map, which I think is what he's thinking about, because they caught Dream bottom earlier because of him doing the split push. So maybe he can get some kills out of it, but that means BKB is never going to come online, not for ages, which just means Sand King is always going to be able to get those stuns, as we're seeing AfterLife doing time and time again. And there's a lot of control that really is there for that Stone Spirit in this game. These little roots and brambles.
Oh, and like we said, that's what's going to happen. Although, does have some backup here from his fellow Tidehunter. So he's got that Inksfall and does have to be a little bit careful trying to land on both. We'll be able to land on it. Both of them there as Miposhka comes in with the Stroke of Fate. Need a little bit more damage to take down SoNNeikO. Here he goes. He pops the stick charge. Arrow comes out. Not going to be able to... Oh, it almost connects over onto no one. But Collapse again. Big tanky boy. Going to be able to walk away here. Still holding on to the Ravage, so they have to be a little nervous on the side of MONACO GAMBIT.
He does have a pipe as well too. Great pickup this game versus the Beastmaster and Sand King, and even the Willow.
Very necessary.
A little bit tankier.
The zip in coming out here from TORONTOTOKYO. They have so many stuns, but they follow up with a nice Ravage, and they'll go and just keep him alive as well, as they'll turn onto the back line. SoNNeikO to go down. Dream also falling. AfterLife is just in for a world of hurt as Collapse just chases after No and chases after the Dark Willow. They'll have to hide underneath their tower. Curse Crown does in fact proc. Mira sidestepping away from these axes. Already has 3 stacks.
Great spell usage coming in from Team Spirit. TORONTOTOKYO, even though he's a little limited on mana from having to zip around, zipping too far forward sometimes, this one works. Collapse gets a Dream Ravage on everyone. Grimstroke and Mirana get the perfect connection to just disintegrate the Monkey King.
Yeah, it didn't even feel like he had any presence in that fight. He just went down so quickly.
Now they had to use the false promise a little bit earlier, so once that's used, like there's just no hope for Monkey King to be able to turn and get any type of lifesteal. 6k gold lead.
Yeah.
Wraith King continues to get this farm, continues to get that much bigger, and Dream, he's got this Battle Fury, he's going straight for the BKB afterwards, but his game is, it's looking rough. 1-4 so far on this Monkey King.
Definitely not the way that you would like to see him accelerate here. It's just a bit behind.
No, and I mean, maybe we will see the death of Monkey King at some point pretty soon with all these nerfs. It really does feel quite hard to make the hero work, and in this game, if they can't make it work, I'm definitely looking at this hero as being removed kind of off these upper echelon lists. He's got the Oracle with the Monkey King versus the Tidehunter, and they're just having a rough time.
I mean, I would say even that he's already dropped in tier. Like, he's an A tier currently, but definitely no longer that S tier hero where you definitely, you know, fit him into so many drafts. Very specific,
Yeah.
and if, you know, you don't want to be on the B list. Come on now.
I'm thinking he might honestly be there. Like he got everything nerfed, it feels like. So
Yeah.
his Aghanims just doesn't feel that great. It just, yeah.
Invisibility.
So many nerfs.
All right, so what's the next point here coming out from Team Spirit? Because they've been playing very aggressively, and they've hit some really nice timings, had some really nice fights. Looks like Grimstroke will be getting that shard because it's just too gosh darn good not to pick up. But are we just waiting on one other item here, or... Well, BKBs are actually huge,
fine.
though, coming out from the side of Gambit.
I think for Spirit, they're always fine. Like when Ravage is on cooldown and they're able to just sit back and farm and nothing's happening, it's phenomenal for them. They're getting faster farm on the map because of the way just Wraith King works in general, and they're getting their cooldowns back up. They do have to worry now, right? The BKBs are online, as you were mentioning, so it could trip them up, in particular Collapse. But now Collapse, he also has a blink, so if you can catch the positioning properly for an initial Ravage, those BKBs might not actually get a chance to go off.
Ooh, Yatoro going right back in. The Inkswell comes out. SoNNeikO might have to keep him alive. Oh, the arrow coming through, though. It taps him right on the back lines. Still, they force out that BKB. And that's going to hold No One and Dream back as they are tied together in that 3-legged race of Soulbind.
Collapse is just waiting for an opportunity with the blink.
They do have a sentry down, though.
They're in very good position as well, too. Even SoNNeikO is just sitting in that Shadow Amulet. We're seeing a lot more just people sitting in Shadow Amulets, by the way.
Yeah. The value of a Sentry Ward in Dust has gone up very, very high, especially when you have a Moonlight Shadow.
And I feel like for Spirit, you're cool. Like, nothing got forced too hard there. You kind of make them back off. You know, that BKB got used. You can smoke back, look for a fight. They don't quite have that shard yet on the Grimstroke, which is going to be a big pickup, but they've got Ravage.
Monkey.
They can find the Monkey. He's just dead.
Do they see him? Can they get there fast enough? No, they're all grouped up very tightly here, though. Collapse could have had the Ravage of his life if he wanted to. Just has no idea, and they don't really love the positioning, although the zip in here again with that Inkswell to follow up with the Ravage arrow coming through over onto the backline. There is no Oracle to save you this time. He's going to have to buy back now. As it's a beautiful epicenter. The Wukongs does get dropped as well. TORONTOTOKYO, just maybe a little bit too far, is going to fall. The Regen Rune getting picked up by Collapse, immediately canceled out. They're chasing after this Tidehunter, but they get the Soulbind off. They get the Silence as well, so they'll be able to protect Collapse. Arrow coming through. BKB comes out from the Monkey King again. He doesn't want to get hit with this.
Okay, I thought he would just tank the arrow there with the Oracle behind him, not wanting to waste more BKB, but he just takes his BKB down for nothing there. But a good fight. At least they're able to, as we said, like a couple times where in TORONTOTOKYO just overcommits, one stun, and he's dead. They have so many different forms of control. The Ravage catches everybody. It looks phenomenal. But yeah, buyback. A nice play from AfterLife. Those keep them in it.
Poor SoNNeikO.
He's getting hit by every arrow. But Mira is just a sniper.
He really is. That, and he's got to buy all these sentry wards for every time that, you know, there's a Moonlight Shadow threat on the map. I'll spot out this
Look, this is how he has to play. He has to Shadow Amulet and just sit next to Dream. What exciting gameplay for your poor Oracle to just, that's your job. You know, if you're not feeling the false promise off to allow your Monkey King to get BKB or turn fights, you're not doing your job. So SoNNeikO really just has to sit right on top of him. And it's tough now because he did buy back in that last fight. So SoNNeikO has to be very wary of his positioning.
I mean, he is the public enemy #1. If you can take him off the board, the game gets a lot easier for Team Spirit.
Radiant's bottom tower.
We'll get some scouting information out here. They're actually going to commit to the Roshan's Ravage is down.
Did they? Ooh, Stroke of Fate coming through. They realize something's up. Collapse, again, doesn't have that Ravage, but the big chungus of a lad. They'll dust up. The zip in, though. This is not looking good for AfterLife. It's going to get silenced out the place. The arrow comes through. There is no Sand King to be a part of this fight, but over on the back lines here, Yatoro, he's going to just get beat down by that ultimate coming out from Monkey King, who does have his BKB up and running. So does no one. Yatoro, though, he just got his own. Nice save here coming out from the Oracle. We'll be able to prolong the life just a little bit longer. Mira over on the other side of the river here onto the high ground. They're zipping in. They would love to catch this Monkey King, and it looks like they will, but they have very little mana left. Over here onto Toronto. The arrow comes through, though, and there it is. They take him out. Immersion next, trying to just teleport out. Should be able to do it. They have nothing to go and cancel the TP, but this is looking like Rosha is going to belong to Team Spirit.
AfterLife just goes too early. He's so important for these fights just to be able to finish off that Storm Spirit, get into the back lines too, and he just dies right away. No one.
He's playing with TORONTOTOKYO, but Mira's here.
Caught.
He is indeed going to get caught. They don't quite have the arrow up, I don't think, just yet. But you know what they do have? They have Grimstroke, they have the Shard, and Mira's just going to keep poking and arrowing away here.
Tower is under attack.
And they'll still finish the rush. They still have that rating and time in there.
The Terrorize? Well, he's stunned up for part of that anyways, but they're going to try to jump forward again. The nice silence coming out, almost immediately followed up with the Ravage. As they jump over onto AfterLife, they'll pull SoNNeikO into the back lines. They just want to make sure that he can't get off any of these spells. And they've also found no one over there. He's not going to be able to escape. Man, Team Spirit, they look terrifying.
They're just so good at team fighting. Again, the Ravage comes up at perfect time, it seems like, and just everyone able to get all their spells off. The two supports, the Grimstroke and the Mirana, are just chilling in the back, just throwing like 4 or 5 spells off in every single fight. Miposhka's 5, 1, and 10 this game. He's level 14 on the 5 position. This is just great stuff coming out from them, and they're not giving the opportunity for the Beastmaster to look overpowered. Good itemization. Wraith King gets a BKB, kind of like his inventory looks a little weird, but super appropriate in the occasion that it did turn out.
You do like to see these dynamic builds coming out from the players. It shows that they have a really high grasp on the way that the game needs to be played.
Yeah, and now Tokyo, he's got Lincolns, he's got Aegis, he's level 18 on the Storm. Like, he's feeling so good to be able to just jump in and get these initiations and all this information. They're always finding SoNNeikO. They get SoNNeikO every time, either with an arrow or Orchid and Pull. The Ravage is also connecting on everyone. This is, again, a phenomenal game from Team Spirit. Just like we saw them the other day too. They're just looking so coherent together.
I will say that this game doesn't look quite as clean as the other 2 games that we saw the other day, but they still look so good.
Yeah. I'm loving, like, Miposhka's actually just every game on his 5 position is doing so much work. Like, look at this sentry and ward coverage that he's done throughout the game, and just his spell casting. Like, he's got 1 death. He's got Aether Lens. Like, he's having a perfect game.
And it's very impressive considering what they have over on the side of AS MONACO GAMBIT. To have is just very low. Okay, the jump in coming out from TORONTOTOKYO, the silence as well. They're being just a little bit too far over. It's going to be the BKB, but they have that Lincoln's over on the side, so it just blocks it out as AfterLife gets immediately murdered. No one, he can't escape. Or can he? Just barely at the buzzer, teleporting out. Dream, Mira sitting in the middle of all this, gets a nice arrow off again over onto the Oracle. Curse Crown will, of course, proc, but she's over the high ground. She's got Miposhka to keep her alive. And just like that, the engagement is over. Collapse is back top. Objective-based gaming.
And they're, these last few fights, these last few little occasions that have been happening, they get these kills on AfterLife. It's without Ravage. Ravage is back up, and as we've seen, there's no way that Gambit can fight into this Ravage. Their offlaner just nowhere near the same levels. AfterLife this game really struggling. 1-6-3. He's just every time he's literally he's getting the storm in a lot of occasions, but he's just a walking blink stun. And versus Lincoln's, it's become infinitely more difficult.
Zip in over onto Dream. Does have to be careful. SoNNeikO is standing nearby. Like we said, he's basically the ambulance now for the Monkey King. Can't afford to be any steps too far away, or else his king will die.
Now they're really crumbling. Like we're seeing the axes actually not really working that much this time around. Spirit's playing really nicely around it, not allowing no one to get that consecutive chain of axes off.
Look at this.
They're ready for the fight.
Yeah, they're ready to go. Jump forward immediately over onto Dream, followed up with that Inkswell. The BKB comes out, and they jump immediately over onto the Oracle. They want to make sure that he cannot survive here, but they're not going to be able to quite find the lesson. No, they do. All right, TORONTOTOKYO takes down SoNNeikO. And they even throw out the tip.
Oof, they're feeling themselves now.
They really are.
And Gambit really is starting to just completely fall apart this game. It's 20-7. Spirit's just moving from lane to lane, just hunting. Like, look top immediately. Those boots of travel from Tokyo sets himself up. They saw Dream for a hot second. They're gonna hunt him. There's no BKB.
Oh my god, the second he shows up, the second he leaps down into the arrow, across the vortex, that's a dead monkey. And that's a dead tower as well. Efficiency, Fod. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this is it's the bloodthirst. I'm loving it. There's no hesitation for them when they see one hero show even for a hot second. They're getting ready to set up. Like Mira, TORONTOTOKYO, excellent. Just everybody doing their job. Just so well this game on the side of Spirit, and again, but they can't handle the pressure.
Oh, they gotta do something here because you don't want to just roll over and die.
At least they've got access to stop the high ground push very effectively.
That is true. They do have impeccable high ground. The arrow, not going to connect on anything.
Yeah, but Gambit's getting nothing. You know, it's the Monkey King's dead. Sand King's just sitting in the woods. The rest of them are trapped inside the base. It's just Spirit all over the place this game. Even going to get themselves more team fight. I see TORONTOTOKYO takes the Vortex talent at 20. He's about to have Aghanims as well on top. So this is... Oof.
Woof, indeed. I mean, it was already pretty scary when he was zipping in the first time with just the Inkswell and the one Vortex, but to have multiple, oh, that's like a miniature Ravage. And now, you know, they've been doing well enough without the Ravage. When they get the actual Ravage, things go even better in their favor.
I'm looking forward to some like 3-4 man Vortex with an Inkswell and then a Ravage. Just get the full connection of everybody stunned forever.
All right, smoke coming out of the base. Gonna play behind Dream, expecting them to try to hunt. You know that TORONTOTOKYO, he does love to murder himself a monkey. Mira going forward.
He breaks the smoke.
They dust. They don't see them. Collapse. Showing. TORONTOTOKYO is going to be teleporting over. That arrow coming in. Clips over onto the Dark Willow. See you later, Immersion. There it is. There's the Vortex. Followed with a beautiful Ravage. They're just shredding them apart here. The Yor coming out now from no one. And the BKBs to try to protect themselves. They're going to back off. They also bought back on 2 of the heroes. And they've leashed him up. This is not looking great for the Oracle. Do they dare? Do they go further into this base? Yes, they zip in. They need to be careful, though. TORONTOTOKYO is out of mana. He needs help. They use the epicenter. It's too greedy as he does fall. Another arrow right to the face over onto Willow. Now Collapse is just going to have to blink himself out. Are they going to find anything else? They're still hunting. They're hoping that there's some stragglers in these woods. But it looks like Miposhka's just going to teleport away, and that's the end of that.
2 buybacks. They will get at least a thankful kill because Tokyo overextends there. But what a connection from Spirit, getting the beautiful pull into 4-man Ravage. It looked like it was going to kill absolutely everyone. Gets 2. But yeah, those buybacks do come out. And see, Gambit, they're actually looking to continue to catch with that Storm Spirit data. Trying to find something. It's still hard. If Team Spirit's together with their 4, they will still be able to battle quite easily into this 5 right now.
The 15K net worth lead at 32 minutes in.
Yatoro is just huge. Like AC, BKB, Halp. He's Sage. Almost got the SNY too. And now they have a Lotus to protect him, which will help a lot versus that annoying Willow.
Monkey sitting up over on the high ground with the rest of the team. Looks like they're going to back off. Perhaps go after that tier 1 in the top lane as there's just arrows being chucked out relentlessly.
Has to feel so good to play as the Wraith King now this game at this point, where you have Solar Crest buffed up, you've got Lotus Orb being thrown on yourself. You look at the counterparts on the opposing team, They don't have that. They don't have any of these buff ups to just make this Monkey King actually that much stronger.
Someone's got to have a solar crest, though, right?
They don't have gold. Immersion is really struggling in this game. It's a tough pickup on a Willow. It's not really that natural. TSpirit.Niposhka set. He just needs positioning.
The arrow.
And AfterLife. He's probably the one that has to have that solar, but he's having the roughest game out of anybody in this one. He's just constantly hunted. And he's always the one who has to start the charge, like blinking, stunning into 4 heroes and then just dies. So it's tough. It really is tough for Gambit to get this type of itemization to enable Dream more.
Tidehunter almost has himself an Agnum Scepter too, I would like to point out.
Is under attack.
And he took the Gush talent, so we've got that insane AoE minus armor, 11, to just make that Wraith King just kill everybody even faster. That's gonna be nice. And he has Quickening Charm, Gush is aplenty.
I like how he's just playing with this boot over here. It's just hits the board, swims around a little bit, wants to make sure that he's watching as he murders Beastmaster's family. True killer right there.
Must feel good killing Beastmaster's family after just seeing Beastmaster dominate so many games, honestly.
I don't think anyone can blame him for that. All right, we've got the Scotty, we've got the Ags. 6-second BKB on Mr. Monkey. But it definitely, I don't know. I think we are seeing the slow and eventual decline of the Monkey King here.
Yep.
It's not
I mean, they still can get some solid teamfight if they can get some decent initiations, but it's always been Spirit charging at them, getting these great clean starts. Like Tokyo, he actually can still die. If they have a way to break that Linken's and just get any form of disable, he's still very squishy on the Storm. He'll die very quick. But they're just not giving that chance. Spirit's just Collapse has been this brick wall that's prevented pretty much anything. Him and Mira, honestly, just such good job from these two to always give the information.
All right, well, yes, okay. Courier gets taken down. They know exactly where they are now. They were smoked up themselves. The question is, do they make something happen as they throw the illusion over here of the Wraith King?
The line is drawn. Team Spirit, they're smoked up again. They want this battle. SoNNeikO, he has a Blink Dagger, so a little bit better, a little bit easier for him to get that positioning. AfterLife is still just a glorified support, though.
Oh, Yatoro smoke breaking. They drop the monkeys. Arrow gets tossed out for some vision. They know exactly where they are. They want this Roche. Another smoke. Can they get anything done here? They know it's coming. The Monkey Dream jumps in, immediately just gets snapped up. Arrow, everything CC, but it's a good save though coming out from the Oracle. We'll buy him a little bit more time. The BKB has already been popped from Yatoro. Gush thrown out. SoNNeikO onto the backlines immediately. Do they have any sort of detection here to take him out? That was the real question. They don't even need it. Sorry. See you later, Oracle.
Just excellent. Excellent awareness of the Spirit. They just poked the BKB, Tokyo.
No one forced to pop that BKB. They go right back and they have a lot of damage, but it's not enough. Not enough to slay him before he can teleport out. And AfterLife's thinking, God, just please don't look over here.
They can just Roche pretty easily now with the Solar Crest, with that Gush. They got Arcane Rune on the Storm, of course.
Do we see the cheeky play, though?
No Oracle.
Do we see the cheeky play, Fog? Is he going to try to go in? Is he going to try to get this?
AfterLife has to.
He's channeling.
He absolutely has to in this game.
He's stopping, thinking about it, channeling, stop, thinking about it. Hawk coming through. Knows that they're not in the pit. He's got to time this just right. A lot of pressure on a little Sand King. Getting closer. Another couple seconds. He's starting to channel it up a little bit more. Needs to let it go now if he wants to go in there. Not going to be able to do it. Oh, he used the...
He's having a rough one.
It is rough, especially when you have someone looming over your shoulder watching your mistakes. Oh dear. They found the Willow. Can they get Dream though is the real question. The Zip 4 trying to knock him down off of those trees. Follow up though from AfterLife to pop off the Linken's. Mira trying to find any sort of an angle, trying to keep TORONTOTOKYO alive. Is going to be able to do it.
Actually keeps the Aegis alive. If he doesn't get that little bit of interruption off the Monkey King, Tokyo does go down the once. Nice play there from Mira, and continuing a Spirit, just understanding how to take these fights and understanding what they need to force. As soon as Oracle ults earlier, the BKB from Monkey King, they wrap, reset. This is just a masterclass right now from Team Spirit as they continue this dominance in the game. And how close are we to 25? The three cores must be getting close on their side. 22, 24, and 23.
Things are looking spooky.
Just it's never looking easier for Gambit. They're getting scaling on the Monkey King, the Beastmaster as well too, but not feeling the scaling at all from Sand King. He is literally going to get surpassed by the two supports by Spirit soon.
Monkey. Nope, he's all right. He's all right. Collapse showing that they were indeed Moonlit Shadow. But they do have a tier 1 down here that they can go and hit.
Okay, now no one has bought a Solar Crest for his team. It seems like he's going to have to be that one to buff up Dream a little bit more. I think he bought it a little bit ago.
It's too good. You just have to buy it.
Yeah,
There's no excuse not to buy this item.
However, now, he's not building around the build. You're not going that Singe Kaya that we've seen popularized by Beastmasters. I've seen some, I think I saw like 1 or 2 Bloodstones maybe in a different region. So he's not going to be amping up his damage anymore. It's just going to be all playing around Dream, which it might be the right approach. It really does feel like Dream has to super carry this game. And the Axes, they haven't really felt like they've done much of anything. The pipe early,
I mean, it's the most damage dealt.
It is. It is.
Is that the strength of Beastmaster or the weakness of Monkey King? You know?
Yeah, sure. See if it works. I mean, it's just feeling like such a rough game, and I'm not feeling really the impact of those axes so much, and he's not 25 yet.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's gonna be a dead SoNNeikO. Looks like Dark Willow will be able to escape, but because he died for that, he is gonna be able to allow his core to teleport out. The rest of them hunting.
The Tokyo can keep going, and he's hit 25, so we have those auto bounces, the fun.
The fun never ends.
Yep, double bounces.
Arrow coming in hot, the drag back over onto No One. They don't want to overextend here, but there it is, a beautiful route, followed up with the Ig Swell, and No One is just murdered. Does have buyback. They bought back on the Oracle, the jump forward again coming out from Jake, trying to land that Wukong command, and there's 3 of them now caught in the middle of all of this, but 2 of them are able to just walk away. Mira, though, not as lucky. The Roar comes out again, plus the Terra, but the zip back in from TORONTOTOKYO as he drags 2 of them right back in again, plus the Dutch. The BKB is forced out by No One as Dream goes down. He's gonna have to buy back, as is No One over here on the side, just throwing out the axes. Okay, TORONTOTOKYO still has that Aegis, though, and they're still not able to even pop it.
The prize is mine.
That's 3 buybacks from the side of Gambit to get nothing. Not even the kill on the Aegis.
They look a little forlorn here, Fog.
Yes, they do. Spirit does not, though. Spirit looks very happy.
And there's a double damage right outside the Roche pit.
It's been such clean moves from them all game. Even this little initiation, just the Ink Swell Ravage, just chain stunning onto No One when they know that SoNNeikO has to buy back at the last second. They've just done such a great job of just controlling and always getting onto the right targets. I'm not really feeling the presence of a lot of the heroes from Gambit just because Spirit's not allowing them to do much of anything with these jumps.
They've just played their draft very, very nicely.
Yep.
Got the Minotaur Horn online. On the Storm Spirit, I don't know.
It's such clean Dota, and that's, you know, you said not as clean as the other day, perhaps, but just the way that they're hunting and just not ever really losing the key heroes. Like Tokyo, he's got 4 deaths, but he didn't go for BKB and he only has 4 deaths, is saying something. The other 2 cores, they barely died. 1 death on Yatoro, 2 on Collapse.
At the second that Dream shows up in the lane, do you see all those TPs immediately just hoping that they can get their hands on him?
He's the only one who can really get out on the map at all. So every time he shows, even for a split second, they just beeline it to him. Yatoro, he's got a DD in the bottle on this high ground.
The good news is they know where Team Spirit is, right? Because they all went top to try to go and deal with Dream. So can they get this initiation? Can they make something happen? Of course, they're throwing out throw up front. Got a full blood throw. No one, though.
No one's
going through the back. They find AfterLife first and foremost. He's got an Aeon disc. Burrow strike off. I can hear Aurora on the back lines. As they immediately turn it right back around with the Vortex. Everybody's sitting here in this Wukong's command, though. Miposhka, he is going to fall. He's going to buy back immediately. Collapse somehow still alive as they use that BKB, but there's fighting going on over on the other side. The Terrace is not going to actually be able to go off as they're hauled into the brambles. AfterLife trying to run away. He's already used that epicenter, but No One is just getting hunted by TORONTOTOKYO. He just drags him right back in. Nice save, though, coming out from SoNNeikO. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be able to allow No One to escape? Yes, it is. But Yatoro is just chasing after Dream into the base. He wants this kill. He's got the reincarnation. The axes are getting tossed in. They have the arrow, and they're just running at them, Fog.
Dire structures are fortified.
Looked like a not so bad of a fight for Gambit at the start of it, with no one getting the wrap run, but he roars a Lotus. The Monkey King ult's decent, but as soon as Monkey King ult runs out, Spirit just completely starts to dominate and take over that fight again. Can't even force Yatoro's ult the one time.
They can't. The zip forward. Tokyo. You said it. The bloodlust. He wants murder.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
They'll continue,
They have no reason to leave.
but they're feeling strong.
Middle tower has
But you have to be careful of all the, the axes being tossed at them, but they're just sidestepping around them. Easy peasy.
Dire's middle tower.
Got the ink spell over onto Tokyo. They see Dream over here. The drag right back at, and he is toast. GG gets called. Their king has been slain. And let's have a moment of silence for the Monkey King, because I think he's on the way out, Fogged.
Radiant
I think that's enough.